Stocks did hit an all-time high. What did we learn last week is that the stock market impacts 8% of Americans. It does not impact the other 92%. It's one of the main reasons I've never used it as any kind of real barometer in terms of the health of our economy.
You sure about that, Sean? Because if I recall correctly, and I do have the receipts, you loved pointing at how well the stock market was doing under Trump in order to celebrate his handling of the economy. We'll get to that in just a moment. But overall, I actually agree with what Hannity said there. The stock market's performance should not be an indicator of how well the economy is doing, given the fact that a lot of Americans are not invested in the stock market. But nonetheless, he wanted to downplay the importance of the stock market after the S&P 500 hit an all-time high on January 19th. Unfortunately for him, Media Matters for America took the liberty of basically compiling a massive list of all the times he praised the stock market during the Trump administration in an effort to give the former president a ton of credit for how he handled the economy. So here are a few examples, and keep an eye on the scrolling list to the side of Hannity.
And of course, members of the lazy destroy Trump media aren't interested in doing their job. Stock market, again, all-time high. Today's economic news is more than phenomenal. We have an economy that is roaring and booming like never before. Look at these numbers. They speak for themselves. The stock market is soaring.
He thought it was a really important indicator, Cenk, under Donald Trump, but not so much under Biden.
These guys crack me up because, first of all, guys, you're on tape. You're on tape having said the earlier stuff, right? Like, you think that we're not gonna find it, Media Matters isn't gonna find it, randos online aren't gonna find it. Amazing. The second reason why they're hilarious is because now Sean Hannity all of a sudden cares about the average American. And he found out that 92% of you don't have any money in the stock market. He just found that out. When the entire time, him and everyone else on Fox News, and to be fair, everyone on MSNBC and CNN, obsessed about the stock market. Stock market's up, stock market's the most important thing in the world, right? And now all of a sudden he's a humanitarian. He's like, did you know that 92% of you don't even have any money? We've been doing all this programming just for the rich? Yeah, Sean, we knew.
So the wealthiest 10% of Americans now own 89% of all US stocks held by households. So that's really important to know because he's actually right when he downplays the performance of the stock market as an indicator of how well the economy is doing. But with that said, it seems as though he might have come across the reporting done by Media Matters on his little double standard in regard to the stock market, because soon after he addressed it in an interesting way. So let's take a look at that.
You know, somebody actually, James sent me a thing, Hannity, you did tout the Trump stock market when it broke a record. I said, yeah, I did, but I also had the same caveat I have now. It's not my biggest barometer about how people in this country are doing.
So he's half telling the truth there. It's just that the times where he downplayed the stock market was when the stock market was doing poorly under Donald Trump.
He's such a joke.
Here's some examples.
I've never been the person that says, and I say it on my radio show a lot, that says the barometer of an economy is the stock market. You know what's interesting? I'm not a big stock market guy. I never use that as my biggest barometer. We're watching it fall. When we get through this, which we will, I expect the market would rise.
So those clips were from March of 2020 when the stock market was doing poorly for obvious reasons. That's when the COVID lockdowns happened.
Now you saw the videos with your own eyes. So let's just review though. When the stock market was doing poorly under Trump, it doesn't count. When it's doing great under Biden, it doesn't count. When it was doing great under Trump, it counts. It counts. Look at it, stock market all-time high. That's it. Trump's the greatest person on earth. Stock market's super high. We all love the stock market. Stock market's the only important thing. As soon as it goes down under Trump, I don't know. I never cared about the stock market. Oh, it's sky high under Biden. I never cared about it. Never cared about it. Come on, what a joke.
In our members only post game, I'm gonna tell you how Donald Trump has decided to take credit for how well the stock market is doing today. tyt.com/join to become a member to find out what he had to say about that. It is incredible, to say the least. So, anyway.
Right. We'll see you there. And also remember, you can join through tyt.com/join. And if you do an annual membership today, you'll get a gift. We'll see you soon. If you enjoyed this video, that's because of our members. They make us independent, they make us strong, and they make us honest. Become a member today by hitting the join button below.